Alright, fans. So, this is Kinley. I'm Katie. And we have a story for you.
Oh, yeah.
This all started yesterday or the day before. I don't really know. We
Yesterday.
are currently on the World Race semester. It's a 3-month program. And we started in Atlanta. In Atlanta, World Race, they dropped us off at the airport where we slept all night in the Atlanta airport. And then we arose. We never slept. Okay. We got on a plane in Atlanta and we flew to Chicago. In Chicago, we had about an hour-long layover. And so Chicago O'Hare Airport is giant. Massive, we know this by now. And we had to go from like Terminal T to Terminal 5 or whatever. Terminal 2, I'm so out of it. Okay, so you had to go far. So we're a group of 14 people, and we have our big packs. No, we don't. We just have our carry-ons at this point. Yeah. And it's freezing cold. Kinley's amazed because she's never been to Chicago before, and neither have I, but Kinley kept saying, like, wow, I love Chicago. I can't believe we're in Chicago.
The snow, wow, never seen the snow.
So
it's incredible. Wish I could stay for forever.
Shut up. Okay, so we get to Terminal 5. We're going through security. I'm not going through security. I'm helping another girl who needed help checking into the flight, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Then good old Kinley comes up behind me. I'll let you take it from here.
Okay, so it was a pretty quick turnover here. We had to get from our flight that we got to Chicago, we had to get on the airplane in order to fly to Korea, our next connecting flight. We're about to go through security, and the other squad leader, that's not Katie, it's Hannah, turns around, and she's like, hey, everybody get your boarding passes and passports out, and it was all this just awful feeling of, oh no, just overwhelmed my whole body. And I was just like, I haven't seen that boy in a long time. I dropped down, I opened my backpack to look in, and it was like, when it wasn't the first thing I saw, I knew it was game over. I knew it was it. And so everyone else went ahead of me to get in line because they didn't know that there was an issue yet. And one of the other teammates just turns around, looks at me, and I'm like, no, this is bad. She comes back, she helps me dig apart my backpack. She's like, it's okay. Other people start to catch on that there's a problem. Hannah comes back, she's looking at me, and I'm like, I'm sorry. So we went to the backpack again. If the passport wasn't there, it was gone. So
no
then we came on over.
Yeah, so Kinley walks up and Hannah's like, Katie, Kinley doesn't have her passport. And we're like in crunch time, baby. Like, we have a 14-hour flight.
Crunch time, baby.
We're on a 14-hour flight all the way from here to here. And we're about to miss it. Like, not good. So, and the lady, we're at the we were flying Korean Air. And the lady at the Korean Air desk was like behind her computer, like, well, your plane is leaving soon, so you have to make a decision about whether you're going to catch your flight or not. And I'm like, thinking we can't catch our flight. She doesn't have a passport. She can't be left alone. What are we gonna do? So she was like, well, you have to decide right now. And I was like, okay. So I was like, all right, Kinley.
She's like, it looks like I'm staying.
I know. So I was like, all right, Kinley. So Kinley and I stayed. At that point, the lady was like, okay, I don't know how to do a Korean accent. Do you?
No.
Okay. So she's like, okay, I'm going to get your bags off of that flight. Like, how many bags do you have? So, interesting point to notice. I had checked another girl's bags with mine. That's not actually important to the story. Anyway, I told her we had more bags than normal checked in my name. So I said we had 5 bags. So she was like, okay, we're going to pull the bags off the plane and then we'll give them to you. So she's taking care of that. Then Kinley realizes she thinks she left her passport on the plane that we took from Atlanta to Chicago. And that plane, we realize, is now on its way back to Atlanta. And so we need to notify the plane, look for that passport. It's on the plane. So Kinley proceeds to just call it.
Everyone.
Go ahead.
Just everyone. Well, my first instinct was call Chicago O'Hare Airport. So I pull up the phone number and I'm on the line with the airport. lots of people. We called Delta. We're calling, like, different people. Like, we talked to people at Korean Air. Like, we're all over the place trying to talk to people. No one is helpful, and no one has any information for me. Anything I was told was to just file a claim. And I was like, okay, I understand I need to file a claim, but I'm supposed to be leaving right now. Now I'm stuck.
Also, just for anyone who ever has to do this process, filing a claim with Delta is stupid because it takes about 30 minutes to file, like, complete all the information, and then it costs like $35 to actually submit it. We don't got that kind of money lying around.
That does not make any sense.
So anyway, rush past that.
Also, it's not just my passport. It's my passport holder, which also contains my 2 debit cards, all of my cash, my IDs, and my boarding passes. It contains everything. So now I couldn't even, like, hop on a flight back to Atlanta. I'm stuck. Like, I was like, this is it. I live in Chicago now.
Okay, so
we're going in 6 minutes.
It's fine. Okay, so I'm calling people back at Adventures and Missions, like our people that are in charge of keeping us alive, alerting them of the situation. They're so helpful. And then one guy was like, okay, if you can't find her passport, like, she's gonna have to apply for a new one. And so we're like, crap.
Yeah.
Like,
those suckers ain't cheap.
I know. No, it's not. And so we called the Chicago passport office, and it was like, it was like $350 to get a new one. They had no appointments for days, it seemed like, and they were just not helpful.
I had no identification to even get a new passport. And apparently, then it's impossible. I could do nothing.
It just seemed like not the road we wanted to go down. So, we're going to cut to... So then, we realized the passport situation seemed pretty hopeless. So then we're like, okay, we might as well just get our bags, because the Korean Air people were like, you have to get our bags. So, we didn't walk. We took another bus all the way back to Terminal 2. And we're talking to the Korean Air people. They're very helpful. They're like, okay, just wait. We're going to bring out your bags. So we're waiting. They bring out our bags. Except for only one of the bags belonged to us. Kinley's bag was brought out along with 4 of our teammates' bags. So now...
Which we still have.
I'm going to flip the camera around just to show them. We have a menagerie of random bags that aren't ours. But suddenly we are burdened with basically 6 bags that are very heavy. Like 50 pounds a pop. We're 2 people. I'm not strong. So immediately we're just stuck. Okay, so we're sitting there. We have 2 luggage carts full of bags. No passport. Not a ton of money. Okay, so we just start to pray. We're like, the whole time we've been praying, like, God, open our eyes. Like,
yeah, like, around every corner, I'm like, okay, Jesus, lead the way. What now?
Yeah. So, we're just praying, and we're talking to our buddy Oscar, who sits next to us. We're we're talking to everyone now.
We should have a picture with Oscar,
I know, Oscar's pretty awesome. He's going on a trip to Thailand, so we might actually get to see him there, so that was pretty nice. But,
Can you imagine?
So we're just kind of sitting there, like, talking to Oscar about our situation. He's kind of laughing, like, wow, you guys are screwed. And so then, all of a sudden, an angel of the Lord, it might have been Jesus himself.
Dare I say Jesus?
This woman comes walking up, and she goes, are you Kinley Harding?
And I'm like... That's pretty much exactly what happened. She was like, I need your phone number. I'm on the line with this man from Delta, and he may have your passport. And I was like, who are you? So, obviously, get her my phone number. The guy called. I actually missed the call. And then it didn't ring. And then I call him back, and I'm like, he's like, Kinley Harding? And I'm like, yes. He's like, I have your passport. And then we were like, woo! Yeah. We found the passport.
Oscar was celebrating with us.
Yeah, it was great. And when that man walked up asking...
In the midst of all of this, like, she's on the phone, where, like, people are talking, like, everyone's like, what are we gonna do, what are we gonna do? This man walks up to me and he's like, did you go to Messiah College? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, what year did you graduate? I'm like, I don't know. And he was just like, like, oh, cool. And he just kind of walked away, and I was like, that was super random. Anyway, continue.
So this man was very hard to understand, like every other person we talked to on the phone that day. And basically he was like, this plane from Atlanta is taking off at 3:05. You need to be at gate E11 before the plane lands, like to get your passport to intercept it. And I was like, okay, so now we have a new mission. We gotta somehow get to gate, no boarding passes, no identification. Not really sure how I'm gonna get to gate E11. But we're gonna do it. We gotta make it. So we head back on the bus to go.
Wait, hold on. Remember all the bags we have. We cannot gloss over this part of the story. We have 6 bags, 2 people.
At least each of them weigh like 50 pounds.
So heavy. So we take our luggage carts, we take them to the elevator, we go down, elevator, down the elevator, we go out. We know like pretty much everyone that works at the airport at this point, so all the like traffic people are like, hello, and we get to the bus part, and then we're like getting on the bus, and it's so hard because it's like get on the bus, get off the bus with all their bags. We're trying to do it really fast. Thankfully, these men were helping us because they saw our desperate need. So we get on the bus, we're like taking up all this room with our bags, and then we traveled to Terminal 2, and we get there. Okay, this is where it gets dicey. So we pull up, but we don't pull up all the way to the curb, so there's still like 2 lanes of traffic in between our bus and the curb, and it's also like snowing kind of and like raining and
icy.
It's like icy splush on the road, so it's like yeah. Okay, we already look like crap. We've been traveling all night, half a day, wearing sweatpants.
Exhausted.
Not really. We haven't eaten anything at this point. We're so hungry. So we're like, the door opens and we're like, it's go time! So she's like throwing bags off the bus onto the ground and then
hurling them.
Yeah, just hurling them. And I'm like dragging them across, like falling down on the road trying to get to the curb. And
There's a few that have like 4 wheels, so I'm like pushing across
the lanes of traffic.
And she's like catching, she's like, oh. Catching them.
Meanwhile, there's people, like grown men. Okay, I know that like there are a lot of women out there that don't appreciate chivalry. I am not one of those women, and if any man in this situation would have helped me, I would have.
Just anyone.
Anyone.
If anyone would have just been like, hey,
it just happened.
You need some help? That would have been so good.
There was just a lot of men standing around watching us and laughing. And I was like, haha, yeah, it's funny, but like, help me. That was very frustrating. So finally, we get all the bags and ourselves safely to the curb. Then we have to walk quite a ways to the Delta terminal, not the Delta check-in desk, to talk to them about passport stuff. But we realized, like, we can't have the kind of situation where Kinley stays with the bags and I take 1 bag at a time or whatever, like, because you can't have bags left alone in the airport. Yeah. So we realized we had to carry all of the bags at one time.
Because the cards that we were using previously cost $6 a piece to use.
$6.
I didn't even have any money.
That was absurd.
Yeah.
$6. Okay, so I strapped 2 backpacks over my back. So that's 100 pounds. I only weigh 110. Like,
Very small.
I'm like, going to the airport, trying to like maintain my body structure. She's like has her bag over and she's like dragging all these suitcases across. And like again, people are just kind of staring at us. Like, what the heck? We're also covered in mud. Like our pants
from
are
the
just
ice. I
mud.
literally at one point was on my knees trying to pick up a bag, and my knees were covered in mud.
Oh man. Okay, so yeah, covered in mud. We finally get in front of the Delta desk. We just drop everything in a pile. I'm lying on the ground, you know. And so Kinley musters up herself and she goes up to the front. Go ahead.
Wait, what happens next?
I forget. I think you want to talk to Kathy.
Oh.
Because you had to make sure that you could actually go through.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I had already talked to Miss Kathy at one point, and she had tried to help, but where we kept getting, like, she was one of our, like, dead ends. She figured out what gate the plane with my passport was landing at in Atlanta, but she couldn't get in contact with anyone at the Atlanta airport or anyone at the gate. So she was like, there's nothing else I can do. Like, she was like, whatever, had kind of given us some help. So whatever. So I walked back up to Miss Kathy. She already knew, like, our story, and I was like, okay, so they found my passport, and she was like, okay, great, like, was happy for me. And I was like, I need your help to get it. Because I had said how they're dropping off the gate. She was like, you can't get to the gate. And I was like, I understand. How do I get it? And she's like, okay, I'll notify, like, the people. And, like, we'll get you, like, I'll take care of it. And I was like, so I don't need to do anything. She's like, no, just wait around. The plane was going to land, like, 4 hours from then. She was like, just wait around. Like, I'll notify people. We'll get you your passport. And I was like, okay, great. So...
Then we just sat down, and then we realized how hungry we were, and we ate some Sour Patch Kids.
And a cookie.
And a cookie.
Mm.
So we were fed, we went to the bathroom, we drank some water, things were looking up. And then we realized that we don't have a flight. Like, we don't have a way to get from Chicago to Cambodia. So I was talking to my man Jeremy back at Adventures and Missions, and he's like, Katie, you just gotta turn on your charm and see if Delta will just bump you to the next flight. And I was like, challenge accepted. But then Kinley came in clutch because she already had built a pretty strong relationship with old Kathy.
Yeah.
At Delta.
Yeah.
So then Kinley was just, rehearsing, like, what to say to old Kathy to, like,
Because, okay, Delta had no responsibility at all whatsoever to give us a new flight because it was completely my fault, the reason why we missed our one in the first place. Like, they didn't have to do that. So I was, like, looking at tickets, like, if I was going to have to buy my own flight to Cambodia, what was the next move? So this conversation with Miss Kathy really determined everything. It was like, vital conversation that I needed to have with Miss Kathy.
Also at this point we didn't have we didn't have any carts, so like I couldn't go with her up to Miss Kathy because I had to stay with the bags. But then our man Solomon, who was a man from Somalia who worked at the airport, and it's just a man he's like the man that walks behind the wheelchairs helping people. He's
a really just great man.
So kind. He had been talking to us all day, just checking in on us, making sure we were okay. And he shows up with 2 luggage carts that he had gotten for free, and he's like, here you go, girls. And he helped us load them up. We were like,
Sully, thank you.
So he helps us load up all of our heavy baggage onto these carts, and then we're mobile, and then we could move. We weren't stuck to our little pillar. So we take our cuts and we're rolling up to Miss Kathy.
And I was like, hi, Miss Kathy. So what are the chances that we can be put on the next flight out to Cambodia? And she's kind of like, okay, like, starts asking us.
She did a little eye roll. She was a sassy one.
Yeah, we had a whole hate-love thing going. She's like my mom now. So she was basically like, okay, we talk about how technically Delta especially has no responsibility because they weren't even the ones that were supposed to get us to Korea and then to Cambodia. Korean Air was. Delta was just the flight that got us from Atlanta to Chicago. So she was like looking and she was like, Delta doesn't fly to Korea. Like, Delta doesn't do this. So anyway, she's looking, trying to figure out what we can do, where to go next. She gives us this phone number. She was like, okay, I can't do anything for you, but you need to call this phone number and tell them that you need to rebook a flight. Explain. She was like, but just say you need to rebook a flight to Cambodia. So
we call.
We do that.
We call this number. This lady gets on the phone. I can't understand a dang thing she's saying. I swear she was speaking another language, but I give the phone to Kinley, and Kinley could understand it perfectly, so that was fine. But yeah, Kinley was on the phone with her for like an hour.
We were actually an hour.
Like an hour trying to figure out what flights we could get, and finally she was like, I'll book you for flights January 30th. Thursday morning, 11:30 a.m., you're good to go. We won't charge you anything.
Woo! And it was Monday at this point, though.
Oh, yeah.
So we wouldn't be flying out until Thursday.
So then I'm like, okay.
We're like, okay,
good.
it's
we just
free.
don't have a place to stay.
Yeah, but now we got a few days in Chicago.
Which I've always wanted to come to Chicago. So
Yeah, never been here.
Yeah, I was like, all right.
Okay.
We didn't have anywhere to go. So then I remembered I had a friend named Jordan. I have a friend named Jordan who lives in Chicago. So I called Jordan up. I'm like, what are the chances you still live in Chicago? She was like, I still live in Chicago. So she has an amazing apartment.
Incredible
apartment. Her she wasn't actually in town because she's on a work trip, but she got someone to let us in. Her boyfriend Drew. Shout out to Drew. Thank you.
Yeah, Drew.
And so then we get here, but we had to get an Uber from the airport to Jordan's apartment. Keep in mind we have so many bags. So we get an Uber. We call an Uber. Our man Sully's helping us get our bags over there, telling us where to go. We get there. our man Terry pulls up in a Nissan Altima. Not a big car.
He was not having it. He
was
saw
like-
us and he was like, "Are these really the
He's
people
like,
I'm
y'all
supposed to be
have
getting?"
too many bags.
And I was like, "I look in the window. I was like, you Terry?" And he's like, "Yes." He's like, "What do y'all plan on doing with all that luggage?" And I was like, "Terry, it's got to go in here." And he was like, "That ain't all fitting
He
in
was
this
not
car."
having
He
it.
was like,
And so then I was like, this is our only option.
Katie leans down. She's like, "Watch this stuff."
I was like, all right, Terry. And I explained to him what our day had looked like, and I was like, Terry, we have to get these bags in this car. And I was like, Terry, I really think we can do it. And he's like, I'll see what I can do. So he gets out and he gets back in the truck.
We happened to be going to the place, like the area he was already, like where he lived. So we were going in his direction because we were about an hour from the airport. So he asked us where we were going and we showed him on a map. And once he realized we were going in the direction of where his house was, he was like, "Okay, let's see what we can do."
Yeah. So we're like loading up the car. It wasn't actually that bad. I think he was just a little overwhelmed because the bags are huge.
It was
but
huge
it was
bags.
fine. Like
Small
I just sat
car,
in the
huge
back and
bags.
had a little bit of bags on my lap, but it was fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then we talked to Terry. He's like, "Why the heck are you guys going to Cambodia?"
He was
and
so
he was so
confused.
confused. We're like, "We're doing mission trip. We're gonna help people, blah blah." He's like,
He's like,
"Gonna
"I
live in
just
the mud,
don't
huh?"
understand."
So
He's
funny.
like, "Oh my gosh, well, because we asked him what to do in Chicago, and he's like, you're asking me what there is to do in Chicago, but you're about to catch a flight to Cambodia." And we're like, "Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly what's happening."
Yeah. So
So-
anyway, Terry was super kind. I really enjoyed his company.
Yeah, he was cool.
And he brought us to this apartment where Jordan's boyfriend Drew was. Drew came out, helped us with the bags. We had to walk up a million stairs to get to her apartment, dragging all the bags. And at that point, my body was so tired. I hadn't slept in days, and I was just so exhausted.
No
And I was
food.
like, just like crawling.
I
up
hadn't
the stairs.
drinking any water. We're like, home stretch, baby. We're almost there.
It was exhausting. So then we get here. Drew gives us a tour of the apartment. We each get our own bedroom with our own bed. It was
Yeah.
like luxurious.
It was incredible.
We even have a pet bunny we have to take care of. He doesn't really do much.
Mr. Stella.
Yeah, Mr. Stella. So then we Drew leaves.
And
we
we're
take
like,
showers.
nice showers.
Like hot, really nice showers. We found some pasta in the cupboard with a bottle of pesto sauce.
Katie
and we
whips
made
up some noodles.
pesto pasta.
It was nice.
And then we sat on the couch and watched. Did we watch any TV?
We watched The Bachelor.
Oh, we watched some of
We
the
turned The
Bachelor.
Bachelor on. We're freshly clean, eating our
We're like
pasta.
snuggled up in it, and we're like, how our lives have changed in the past hour. Like,
yeah, I
like,
just really.
if you had told us that morning that we'd be staying in an apartment in Chicago for 4 days in a luxurious, Luxury?
It's like a 5-bedroom apartment we're
Yeah.
here in.
it was just like, in that moment, it was so tangible how the Lord took care of us.
It was like, okay, great. And then we were like, okay, this is a gift. You know, we've got real beds. Haven't slept on real beds in like a week. We're completely exhausted. Like, I slept over like 12 hours last night without waking up. It was just like
amazing.
straight through. I was like, wow. I like hit that pillow and I was out. Like, I was out of here. We got our separate beds, separate queen beds. We're sprawled out. I was like, Katie, this is a gift. We got, like, look at this. We walked to a taco place today. Went to the 7-Eleven.
$2 tacos, Taco Tuesday.
It was Taco Tuesday. What are the odds? Oh my gosh. It was just.
Yeah. So the Lord, the Lord just guided us through that entire day, and
Truly.
it was just like, and I don't feel like either of us were ever super stressed out either. It was
I
like-
mean, there were moments where I was like, when we were thinking about the next step and trying to figure out what to do next, where you're like, and it was like, you felt like you just didn't know what to do. But it was like, the whole day, I was like, I'm supposed to be in Cambodia. We're going to get there somehow, some way. We just need to be patient and figure out what way we're taking here.
Yeah.
But it was a long day. We were exhausted,
Mm-hmm.
but here we are.
Yeah.
I think we're going to go see the Bean tomorrow.
Yeah, we're gonna go check out the Bean. It's been amazing, and like we also meet so many friends in the airport too. Like,
Yeah.
It was just a testament to the Lord's faithfulness, and the goodness of humanity.
Yeah, like we met a lot of kind people.
Yeah.
We may not have always talked to the most helpful people that morning, but when we were really getting in our lowest of lows, it was like all of a sudden these people just kept popping up and we're being just like unnecessarily kind and just really helping us in areas where we really needed help so badly.
Yeah.
So it was really kind. We met Sharonda downstairs. We met Miss Kathy, Sully, Terry, Drew, Oscar on the chair. Whoever that woman was that magically appeared to me, I never saw her again.
Yeah.
I don't know her name. Like, I really don't, we don't know. Like, she just appeared and then was gone. And so that was insane. So now we're thriving.
Miracles
Honestly,
happen.
we're doing great. So
we just wanted to update everyone, and
that was our day.
I don't want to forget this day because it was one of the weirdest, coolest days of my life.
So we're flying out. We'll be in Cambodia soon on Thursday.
Both of our passports are
Jesus, please.
right
Yeah, passports
here.
in hand at all times. We got them. We got these suckers. And we are going to Cambodia. We're going to get there. So it was a great day. I've learned a lot of lessons. Still, I've never been out of the country. But on Thursday, I will. I will go. My feet will land in Asia, and it will be incredible. So thank you, Jesus, for this experience. It's been a great time. You got any more words?
No, I'm done.
Okay. Thanks for listening, guys. If you made it to the end of this, really appreciate it. If you ever lose your passport, this is your sign that you'll get there. You'll get it back, and you will make it to wherever you're going. Okay? So that's our encouragement. We love you guys. Bye.